Okay, so let's take a look at question 3 from section 3-2 first. It says a robot travels from position A to position B to C to D, and then we have to figure out what composition of rigid motions represents these moves. And so we're filling in basically these 6 boxes down here, which are showing that we're doing a composition of 3 translations. Remember, these capital T's stand for a translation. And I think the one thing that you got to remember when you're doing compositions of rigid motions is that when we string these together with these little open circles, the movements that are happening first are actually the ones at the end of the list. So when we're talking about our robot moving from A to B, that movement is going to be described by this translation right here. Because that's just the way the composition notation works, is that we are saying that we're doing this translation to what this translation did, which did something to what this translation was. So it's like that last one actually is the first movement that we're describing. So let's think about, let me just write that out. So this translation is representing going from A to B, and that would mean that this translation in the middle is representing going from B to C, and this first one is representing going from C to D. So now if I think about going from A to B, it means I went up 3 and over 2. So I went up 3 and over 2. Or I guess maybe I should do that backwards, since when I describe a translation, I first describe the X movement, and then I describe the Y movement. So since X movement would talk about moving horizontally, maybe I need to think about going right 2, and then, let me write that a little bit neater, and then going up 3. So since I went right 2 and up 3, that's a translation by 2, 3. And then I'm basically just going to do that same thing for the movement from B to C, fill in these 2 boxes there, and then the movement from C to D will fill in these 2 boxes. So again, the key is that when we're looking at a composition of transformations, the transformations actually happen in reverse order of the way that they're listed in that notation. This one happens first, then this one, and then that one.